Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm doing something a little bit more special than usual, and I'm actually sharing with you my members only analysis. So this video will be in the style of the videos I send out to my Trading Academy students every single week. So you're going to get my full breakdown on 4 different pairs rather than just the one that we normally do over here on YouTube. Before we get into today's video, I just wanted to let you know I have a free Forex trading course designed to show you why you're not winning and how you can turn your results around. This is a 13-part video series covering risk management, technical analysis, and trading psychology. So if you want to access this free course, you can do that right now. Just head over to the link in the description and sign up, and you'll get that sent to you right away. Hello team, and welcome to the start of week market breakdown. Today we're going to be looking over 4 different pairs and breaking down the analysis for each of these for the upcoming week. So first of all, starting off on EURUSD, you can see here that I already have marked out a few different scenarios. Now, if we look at how the market has been moving, just real quick on the daily chart, we can see that we've broken out into a large open imbalanced range. Okay, so we can see with this push down that we've actually had bringing us into the 1.1550 area, we've actually pushed through this low, through these lows, and we are now trading within this imbalanced area. There is actually open space all the way down towards around 1.1450, 1.1400, around that region. So we have quite a bit of downside to go with little in the way to stop us. Now looking at the 4-hour time frame, you can see here I have marked out a few zones. So we do have a few different opportunities, right? We're either going to push into this region and roll over, push into the region above and roll over, or push into this top region through the imbalance, which would be treated as the extreme area, and then roll over from there. Now, the only way to really know is to follow the actual confirmations when we hit each of these regions. We can see here we have had a break of structure which pulls us down into this lower low. So this being the zone that broke the structure, maybe the zone we want to focus on initially. And if we do get bearish confirmation there, I will happily sell into this region. Now, it's just simply because we have more imbalances to the upside and these higher supply zones that lead me to leave my options open. But for now, we will focus on this first region, see how the market reacts. If it reacts well, we can look to sell from there. Scaling down a little bit then on EURUSD, we can actually have a look at some of the upcoming opportunities. Now, when I look at this on the 15-minute and 10-minute time frame charts, I can see that throughout last week's final session, we had the Asia session consolidation, then we had a large upside move, and then another continuation of the large upside move, and a little bit of a reversal through the New York session. Now, when the market closed, we were trading within this range between the confines of this high and this low. So right now, we are still stuck within this range. We have an imbalance below, as you can see, which takes us into an area of interest, which is around here. Okay, this demand zone at the bottom of this impulsive move. So obviously we are targeting upside here, and the reason being we still have this open imbalance, and we also have, after we form this low point in and around the 1.15250, 1.15300 area, we've had a push up, formed this high, we came back down, formed this higher low, bouncing from this demand area here, and then from this higher low, we've actually made a higher high. So we are pulling up towards where we want to see prices move, which is those higher time frame regions. But what we may now expect is that because we're losing momentum within this range, well, we first of all could just push through the top. That's very possible. If that does happen, there's probably not going to be a trade there for me on the way up into this region. But if we do actually follow through with this loss of momentum that we're seeing, we may see price come down, trade through this floor of the range, fill the imbalance, trade into this demand zone, and then make a move up from there. So my first movements of the week in terms of EURUSD are going to be just seeing how this range reacts and looking to buy if the market can pull back through into this extreme region. So this is my first trade for EURUSD. And then shifting over to the high time frames, you can see from there, we can see if we get bearish confirmation. And if not, we have these 2 other areas of interest as well. Right, so now over on GBPUSD, the market is now actually breaking down quite a lot, and the structure is telling us it's bearish. So while it's bearish, we'll continue riding it bearish. Okay, there's no need to try and fight the trend. And as we can see from this point, we actually had this lower low, lower high, equal low, but lower high, and now we've had a lower low. So we can see first break of structure, and then a second break of structure has occurred. So we are definitely bearish at the moment. We have nice, strong bearish impulses and quite a lot of open space. Now, this market does look quite efficient, but it's very, very messy. Okay, it's difficult to actually identify a high interest area of reversal within this efficient price action. If we actually pull down to around this area, however, 1.31, I've also looked on some of the volume tools, the footprint tools, and actually seen there is a large surge of volume just here. I think actually I may be able to show you that. As you can see, using the volume profile, we can see that a large surge of volume, the point of control there, is around the 1.30250 area. Okay, so this demand region, where you can see this small imbalance going into it, which happened at the bottom of this large push up, this large daily trend, is the area of interest for swing shorts, right? We may very well come all the way down and trade through this mess into this point of control, into this demand area here. So if we then scale down to the low time frames, knowing we have a short bias in hand, we have quite a clear setup on the cards for the intraday or intra-week kind of idea. So if we look at the hourly chart now, well, we can see overall we're going to want to sell GBPUSD. Real quick on the 4 hour, the selling point is either going to be this area here, or potentially we may push up higher into this area here. So we'll have to keep both of these regions in mind. This one is obviously imbalanced, so it is very possible that we come into here, but if we do get bearish structure confirmation in this region, we can definitely sell with confidence. Now for the meantime then, if we go to the lower time frame, the hourly for this instance, we can actually see we came down, formed lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low, and then we broke out and actually formed a higher high. So from this point onwards, we've had this nice bullish, efficient market, right? We've had a push up, a pullback all the way through the imbalance, retest, push up, pullback through the imbalance, retest, push up, pullback through this imbalance, now coming in for that efficient retest. So what we can look for on GBPUSD is, because we have this open space to fill, the 1.3700 key level and the 1.37250 supply zone as well. If the market comes into this point and gives us low time frame bullish confirmation, I will be buying to take this up towards 1.37. If, however, we break through and we start showing some weakness, we may be able to look for shorts, but the primary focus then would be actually wait for the market to pull down into this area, the extreme area, right? Fill all of this imbalance, and then we can buy it from there. So we have a couple of options on GBPUSD. As you can see, I've also annotated. Price may continue the trend as the market is currently efficient. If the market does break bearish into the imbalance above this zone, being this imbalance here, this extreme zone becomes favorable for buys. And obviously the targets, nice and simple, bring this into 1.3700, exit, and then see where we can go from there. Now over to AUDUSD. Well, we know what's going on AUDUSD. If we go to the daily time frame real quick, we've had this bearish trend. We had what looked like a break of structure, but this actually retested into a supply zone here. We sold off. We broke through this first low, so we actually had a break of structure there, which brings us then into this open space that takes us down into this daily demand area. So currently on AUDUSD, I'm expecting this market to continue bearish. Now, there was something that we got last week that I was expecting to some degree, and I did have that marked out. And I did also buy into it, and I shared that buying opportunity with you all as well, so I hope you made some money on that. The market made a very nice push up. Obviously, then I managed stops. I told you before I went to sleep. The next day, it had come down, triggered those stops, and then shot for the take profit. So it was a good trade regardless. We still got, I got around 3R out of it, just under 3R. It could have been a much bigger trade, but unfortunately, this is the way it goes. We managed it. Nothing to be sad about there. And now we can actually use that tap into the target we were looking for at 0.733, which is around this region, to eye up our next targets and eye up our next trades. Okay, so if we look at the market here then on the hourly time frame, well, what can we see? This is where the initial break of structure through the swing structure came in, and we still have the open space bringing us down into around 0.71500. So I will quickly mark that on. 0.71500, that's going to be the key level we want to target for swing shorts. And what I actually was thinking about last week, which is why I actually brought into this, even though the market is bearish on the higher time frames, we have all these equal highs, right? We have very, very almost equal highs there. Same here and here as well, right? So that leads us into this imbalance, which leads us into a 4-hour, or in this instance, a refined 1-hour supply zone. So I was thinking, right, if the market is showing us that we're bullish and we're pushing against resistance a lot of times with this imbalance and the supply zone above, it's very likely that we're going to, if we do form, even the smallest break, which occurred around this point, we can definitely then begin looking to buy this up into that 0.733 area. And as we can see, the market did just that. We got that breakout, which is around where we brought, and then from there we pulled back down, we retested, and we made that shoot up to 0.733. So that has now been fulfilled, but as we can see, we wicked straight out of the 0.733 area, dropped the time frame so it's a little bit neater. We wicked straight out of that region, and we came in with quite a lot of selling pressure, pulling the market down. So what I'm expecting to see for the week ahead on AUDUSD now is, well, if we look at this, We have a clear supply zone area here, which is imbalanced. We can now see the weakness coming into the market, and I'm expecting this to continue into the week. So first things first, if we can push beneath this low point here, if we can get a substructure break of structure, we can pull it back and then sell it from this supply zone. If instead of doing this and then pulling back, we do this and then pull back, we'll have even more confirmation, but it's going to be the same entry area. As soon as we trade into this area, I want to be selling AUDUSD, okay? So we just need to see the substructure break or the swing structure break, and then we can look to sell. Now for AUDUSD, as I just showed you, the targets are huge. We've got 0.71500, which is going to be around 150 pips from where we are right now. So we should be able to get a very nice short trade on AUDUSD, and I will actually just look to swing this down. Now I'm going to be away for the week. I'll still be trading active. I'll still be sharing my setups and still be putting out a little bit of content, but I'm not going to be active 24/7, on the charts, ready to go, because I'm going to be in Wales. So what I'm actually going to do is hopefully just hold out some big swings and hold them for as long as I can, see what profits we can get from them. And AUDUSD will be one of those leading swings. So just a real quick recap then. AU, we want to sell this thing down, but first of all, we're looking for a substructure for aggressive short or a swing structure for conservative shorts. We want to see breaks there or breaks there, and then we can look to sell from this area and swing that through towards 0.7150. So as a little bit of a bonus setup, I also have GBPJPY. If we go to the daily chart on this one, we can see a very, very nice liquidity range forming up. We have very, very almost equal lows going on down here. We have a large imbalance beneath that, with a huge open space taking us through a daily trend. So if we then look at the current price action we have, if we just clear it real quick, we can see we have these lower lows and lower highs. We have multiple lower highs. What we actually have now happening is a push up, which is bringing us over some of these previous highs. Okay, so if we grab this tool, draw on this daily supply zone, we can see we only just about wicked into it there. This time we are pulling into it deeper. I then went to the 4-hour time frame to refine that zone. And if we refine it to the candle where the impulse came from, we can now really see that if we scale back to where price is now, this initial push did not meet it. The second push did not meet it. This third push has not yet met it, but it is coming very close to trading into that 153 key level. So you can see 153 sits just within this area, and the top of the range is around 153.2. So dropping it to the hourly time frame, what we can actually see happening is the market rolling over a little bit just before we come into that region. The 30-minute is where I actually found this setup. And what I'm interested in seeing, because this is obviously a new break of structure, we can see higher break of structure here, break of structure here, break of structure here, break of structure here. This is obviously a higher high, but I'm not ready to sell it yet. I think it has a little bit more room to move up into this region before selling takes place. So what I'll be interested in on GBPJPY is seeing if we can pull back through this imbalance, trade into this area. And if we can do that, then I will be interested in buying this pair up like so into that area to then sell it off from there on those higher time frame picture. Okay, so this could be the entry to a massive swing short, but for the meantime, let's keep our eyes focused on the immediate trade, which will be a buy up into that region. Now, worth noting is if we do something like this and we push up into that region and then we pull back down, this buy will not be on the cards. Okay, I will not be looking for the buy if we first of all retest this region. This buy is simply to fill the rest of the space and trade us hopefully towards the midpoint and definitely into 153 on a GBPJPY before selling. So remember, if 153 or the midpoint of this range is met before the buys come through, then the buys will not happen. Okay, selective trade, but could be a very nice one. And overall then, with EURUSD, GBPUSD, AUDUSD, and GBPJPY, that is all of the setups that I'm looking at for next week. And let's see what we can do with them. Go mark them up, go chart them up, see what you think. Obviously, you have different ideas. Share them to the member trades channel in the server. And what we will actually do is go through some of those ideas and get ready to kill the markets in this upcoming week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you over in the server.